Good morning, truth, on this final day of Black History Month. I want to leave you with some thought provoking inspiration. I want to speak to those who carry the legacy of ancestors brought to this country against their will, torn from their homeland, shackled in the belly of slave ships, beaten, raped, degraded, and yet somehow we're still standing. Through every injustice, every obstacle, every system designed to hold us back while making incredible contributions to this country, we have built and we have thrived. And while we're still fighting for true equality, I urge you, do not forget the cost of the freedom that we have, even in its incompleteness. I'm asking as I continue the sentiment of yesterday's message, what if we shifted our perspective? In Exodus chapter 16, we can read the story of the Israelites who were fresh out of Egypt. Didn't break into praise, they broke into complaints. Freedom, it turned out, wasn't as cushy as they expected it to be. So instead of celebrating, they griped about having to trust God for their next meal. They had left slavery, but slavery had not left them. They were so focused on what they lost that they couldn't see what they had gained. The chance to build, to grow, to step into a promise bigger than they could ever imagine. Because they kept looking at their situation through the lens of inconvenience rather than opportunity, they turned an 11-day journey into a 40-year detour. The promised land was right there, just a short walk away, but instead of marching in faith, they wandered for 40 years in frustration, in bitterness, circling around in the wilderness, waiting on a breakthrough that was already within their reach. What if instead of seeing only oppression and segregation and racial tension, when we look at our Black history, we also see resilience? Instead of only seeing the struggle, we recognize the supernatural strength of God who carried an entire race of people through. What if we looked at what was meant to destroy us and saw proof of how unstoppable we are? I want to take a moment to reflect on the scripture of John 21, verses 1 through 6. The disciples who had fished all night and caught nothing. Understand, these were skilled fishermen doing what they had always done, but their nets remained empty. Then Jesus showed up and gave them one simple instruction: cast your net on the other side of the boat. Keep in mind now, this is the same boat, the same water, same nets. The only difference, perspective. The blessings was there all along. They just had to open up their minds to doing things different, doing things at a different pace and a different side. Now let's take that same principle and apply it to something as unexpected as a pancake box. I recently bought a plaque with the old Aunt Jemima pancake box image on it, just because I wanted to accent my pantry, not as a reminder of oppression, but as a testament to something even greater. Allow me a bit of your time to explain my purchase. The Aunt Jemima brand debuted in 1890, featuring a mammy caricature, a smiling Black woman with a bandana, reinforcing stereotypes of servitude. Nancy Green was the first model for Aunt Jemima, and she was born into slavery in 1834 and later became the face of the brand. Now let's zoom out to the racial climate of 1890 when the Aunt Jemima brand debuted. Jim Crow laws were legally enforcing segregation across the South. Black men had the right to vote under the 15th Amendment, but Southern states found loopholes in polls and taxes and literacy tests, and they were met with violent suppression. While supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan terrorized black communities through lynchings, riots, and mob violence. And yet somehow, in the midst of that era, Aunt Jemima's face sat in the kitchens of America, a black woman staring back into spaces where black people were meant to be invisible. Was the Mammy caricature meant as a mockery? Absolutely. No question. But look at the irony of it all. The very ones who considered us as less than, the very ones who discriminated against us, the very ones who thought it unbefitting to put a black face on a magazine cover, unintentionally put a black woman front and center to sit on the counters of kitchens nationwide as America embarked on the most important meal of the day every day. Now let's forward to 1955, where the civil rights movement was catching fire. In August of 1955, Emmett Till, a 14-year-old black boy, was brutally lynched and killed in Mississippi for allegedly whistling at a white woman. And in December 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the Montgomery bus, launching the Montgomery bus boycott. The year was 1955, marking the moment when black people said, "We're not waiting for our equal rights anymore. We're going to fight for them." And on that pancake box, during that year, Aunt Jemima was slightly modernized, but the headscarf and the exaggerated features remained. Now let's fast forward to 1968, which was a year of reckoning. April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. In April 11th, 1968, in response to the riots, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1968. And we can go back and look at the pancake box of 1968. And in that year, it got its first major transformation. The headscarf was removed, her hair was styled, and she wore pearl earrings. Now let's fast forward again to 1989. Douglas Wilder became the first black governor of Virginia, and Jesse Jackson's presidential campaigns mobilized millions of black voters. Hip-hop culture was on the rise. Aunt Jemima got another upgrade, a more professional, modern appearance. While black political leaders were gaining ground, Aunt Jemima gained a more polished look. Fast forward one more time to 2020. Because of petitions after the racial justice movements following George Floyd's murder, Quaker Oats announced that Aunt Jemima would be retired, recognizing her origins and racial stereotypes that were mentioned in petitions against Quaker Oats. By 2021, Pearl Milling Company removed Aunt Jemima from the pancake box. But was it a victory? Did we fight the wrong fight? While we're busy petitioning to remove a black woman from the box of the pancakes, black athletes, entertainers, and other African American world changers are still fighting to get on boxes, on billboards, and obtain endorsements. Would it have not been more strategic to fight from a different perspective, looking through a broader lens regarding the rebranding of Aunt Jemima? Maybe we should have called out for a more modern black woman that better conveyed who we are now. Should the Harrington family, who was the family of the second model of the Aunt Jemima image, have fought for the compensation they deserved? Absolutely no debate there at all. But should Aunt Jemima have been completely removed from the pancake box? Now that I'm just not so sure about. Listen, I get it. The origins of Aunt Jemima were built on mockery and racial stereotyping. But over time, the image transitioned, evolving into something that, whether intentionally or not, told a bit of our story. And here's the kicker. By completely rebranding Aunt Jemima, shutting it all down like it never existed, we actually gave permission for our history to be erased. Like it or not, good or bad, born of wrong intentions or not, the Aunt Jemima image was the first nationally recognized product endorsement of Black people. That is a fact. Now, I already know some folks will disagree with me, and that's fine. Let's just agree to disagree with dignity, because I will not enter into commenting and making arguments about it. Because here's my point. We have come too far, accomplished too much as a people to allow our history to just slip through our fingers. We have to be more strategic, not just in preserving our history, but in how we make that history accessible to future generations. Because at the end of the day, we should be presenting our legacies in a light that doesn't just say we survived, but boldly declares, and we're still thriving. In 2 Corinthians 4:18, the scripture reminds us to fix your eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. So instead of scrambling to delete every uncomfortable piece of our past, let's widen our lens. Let's control the narrative instead of letting it be controlled for us. Let's embrace multiple perspectives and use them to show the power, depth, and resilience of our history. Be blessed.
You and I got history. We go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and we've got history. Oh, yes, we do. We go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and we've got history. We go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and we've got history. Oh, we go way, way. We go way, way. Oh, sing it out. You and we've got history. We go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and we've got history. Oh, we go way, way back. Oh, we go way, way back. Oh, you and we've got history. Oh, we go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and we've got history. We go way, way back. We go way, way back. Na na na, na 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 na. Na na na, na 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 na. Oh, na na na, na 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 na. Yeah. Na na na, na 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 na. He says this. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I never have, I never will. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I never have, I never will. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I never have, I never will. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. Oh no, no. Never gonna let you go. Hey. I never have. Oh, I'm never gonna let you go. No. I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I never have, I never will. I'm never gonna let you go. Oh, I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. I never have. Come on, sing nothing can separate us. Oh, nothing can separate us. Nothing can separate us. Nothing can separate us. Oh, sing nothing. Nothing can separate us. Nothing can separate us. Oh, nothing can separate us. Oh, and we've got history. We go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and I, we've got history. Oh, we go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and I, we've got history. Oh, we go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and I, we've got history. Oh, we go way, way back. We go way, way back. You always had my back. You've 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 always. Oh, I've searched your history. Yes, you've always had my back. You were there all along. You've always had my back. You never left me alone. You've always had my back. That's why I trust you. You've always had my back. 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 One more time, you and I. You and I, we've got history. Oh, we go way, way back. We go way, way back. You and I, we've got history. Oh Lord, we go way, way back. We go way, way back. Oh, from the beginning of time, you were always singing over. You knew every breath I would take. You knew every step I'd make. It was not a surprise to you, never a surprise to you.